Is Dave Ramsey's advice steering you the wrong way in terms of your financial freedom?
Cut up your credit cards. Debt is bad. How to pay off your home early. We want to challenge these beliefs and show you even better how to manage your money so that you can have the life of your dreams.
By shifting our mindset from Dave's advice, we now take in 6 figures a month from our multifamily investing business, and I want you to stick around to the end of this video because we're going to show you how we do it. So if you want to learn the keys to our success, let's dive in.
Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps encourage people to get out of debt and stay out of debt in order to build wealth. And although there's a healthy population of Americans that follow his strategies, frankly, if you're trying to build long-term wealth, we disagree with about 70% of his strategies. Let's take a closer look and dive into each of his 7 baby steps.
Baby step number 1 says to save $1,000 for emergencies, because you never know if you're gonna have a flat tire or a busted engine. I've blown a head gasket in myself, you know. So you never know what's gonna pop up in life, right? You wanna have that emergency fund. Well, we say save $2,000. The first $1,000 is for those emergencies, and the second $1,000 is for your first EMD, which is an earnest money deposit. That'll get you into the multifamily game.
Dave's baby step number 2 is pay off all debt except your mortgage.
Ooh, something we can finally agree with. Definitely don't want to pay off that mortgage. We'll get more into that during baby step number 6. But for now, let's talk about, he literally says to pay off all of your credit card balances from smallest to largest, regardless of interest rate. I don't even know how to say or respond to that. Regardless of interest rate. Let that sink in for a second. Interest rate means more money going out. So why wouldn't I focus on the cards that have the highest interest rate first?
Right. It's because it's all about cash flow. I think this is an important time to distinguish that Dave Ramsey, like his whole goal is dealing with regular people who, I don't mean this to sound bad, but basically want to go to a job and then retire and die, right? We're not talking about people who are trying to build long-term wealth. And that is literally our entire mission. Our personal goal and our goal for you is to help you build wealth. Well, how is it that you're going to pay off a credit card that has a lower interest rate before paying off one that has a higher interest rate? That's the exact opposite of cash flow for building long-term wealth.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree emphatically. His whole strategy is live a frugal life, minimize expenses, and continue to work and then invest the difference. Well, for us, our strategy is definitely live within your means and minimize expenses for sure. But we want to teach you how to make it rain with cash flow. That's the big difference. Baby step number 3, it talks about saving 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Now, again, we agree with this in part, right? There's also a strategy so that you can apply it to multifamily.
So sometimes when people are getting started in multifamily, they're thinking they have to decide between saving 3 to 6 months of expenses to make sure they have what they need, or getting started in real estate. Look, we believe in doing both. Absolutely. Save your 3 to 6 months of expenses so that you can breathe. You're not worried about it. You do not need to have that money for investing. When you've saved more than that, you can use it for investing. When Jen and I got started, we leveraged OPM. That stands for other people's money. And look, we were so enthusiastic. We're like, we'll be the ones to make it happen. We'll go find the markets and the deals and get deal flow and analyze and make the offers and do all the stuff. And the other people were like, oh my God, I want to do all that. I don't have time and I don't know how, but I have money. And maybe we could work together. And we were like, yeah. I think we could.
OPM. I'm going to age myself. You remember OPP? We're down with OPM, right? So definitely want to leverage that. So it's okay to do both and on that strategy.
Dave's baby step number 4, invest 15% of your income into mutual funds for a 10 to 12% return.
Nope, Stradamus. That's not happening. Mutual funds? No. Why would I do that instead of investing that 15% into multifamily, which is the best performing asset class? It is the most consistent asset class over time. Why invest in the stock market, which goes up and down, when I can place that money and invest it in real estate, which has performed historically over time more consistently? And why would I put it in a mutual fund if I can do that? So I encourage you to do the same.
Dave's baby step number 5, save for your kids' college education.
Nope on a rope. There's no way, because honestly, I went to college. I know that might shock you, but I went to college. I personally paid for my own bachelor's and my own MBA, and I still don't use them. I don't use them at all. In fact, I say, teach them how to make cash flow. Leave a legacy by you starting your cash flow journey and building your portfolio, and teach them along the way. And then you don't need to worry about all those student loan debts. I mean, we have student loan debts. I think I still have a balance of 120 grand on my student loan that I don't use.
You know, it's interesting because we have 4 kids, right? 4 kids that are between the ages of 8 and almost 11. And question is that really the best use of your time and your money? Now, if you happen to have kids who what they want to do for a living requires a college degree, well then obviously they're going to need to do that. But there are other ways to pay for college instead of just saving money in a account. You could literally buy real estate near colleges, rent it out, make cash flow, let the equity build up, and use that almost like a savings account for your kids. So there really is a way to blend the two. In summary, instead of saving for your kids' college education, instead invest in multifamily. And if they're going to go to college, then use the proceeds of that multifamily to pay for college.
Yeah, and just in case you didn't get that, I want to really dive into inflation. So you talk about inflation. If you're saving and tucking money away, right now inflation's, they say it's about 8%. It's probably higher, who knows? But now you're losing 8 cents on every dollar that you're tucking away. Put that money to work. Yeah. Put it in a multifamily property and let that cash flow pay for it.
Dave's baby step number 6, pay off your house.
Ooh, nothappening.com. Let me tell you something. You get that money. Sorry. Instead of paying down your mortgage, use that money to go buy cash flow assets. Get into multifamily. If you use that money, you could actually look at the equity that you've acquired in your home, refinance it and pull it out and then put it to work. So don't pay it down. Do the opposite. Leverage the cash on something that will actually pay you cash back. Dave's baby step number 7, build wealth and give back.
Finally! Something we can agree on.
1000% agree with that, Dave. Good job. The way to build wealth is to buy assets, not liabilities. You don't want to pay down liabilities. Your house is a liability. It is not an asset. An asset is something that you invest in and it pays you back. The way to build wealth is to get into assets and have them pay you. And then the whole part about giving back, we could not agree more. You've got to give back because it's all about not necessarily karma. I am a little bit of a hippie, but what you give out, you get back. So when you are doing well and you're building your wealth, if you take some of that and you donate maybe 10% of what you're bringing in to a charity or some sort of foundation that could benefit from you, that's awesome.
So have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki? He was the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki and Dave Ramsey, they're friends, right? In real life, they're friends, but they have very different philosophies. We are very much on the side of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. So they're good friends, yet they have different philosophies. So there's a balance, right?
So why don't you tell us, which one are you more inclined, what strategies? Are you more on the Dave side or are you more on the Robert Kiyosaki side? When it comes to your finances and investing in your future, drop a comment below and just let us know your thoughts. So now that we've told you what not to do, we've got an entire list of 4 massive action steps we want you to do instead. It's Jen and Stacy's 4 massive action steps. Number 1, we want you to get into credit cards that you can use same as cash, or you earn points. And you could use all of those points for your rehabs as you're building your multifamily portfolio.
Instead of trying to buy properties all cash, you're gonna leverage bank loans. So you're gonna be borrowing at, well gosh, who knows these days, but anywhere from 6 to 8%, but you're gonna go back and you're gonna make 10 to 20% on your money when you analyze your deals and you do them right.
Jen and Stacy step number 3. We want you to invest 15% of your income into multifamily. This is the best part. You get a property for every bill you have. Is going to put you in a situation where you can start to break away from that job and live the life that you want on your terms.
Jen and Stacy's massive action, step number 4. If you have equity in your home, leverage that equity via a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, and then use that HELOC to go invest in cash flow properties.
Life is too short, so create the life of your dreams. And if you need help with a roadmap on how to achieve that, make sure you click the link in the comments below and book a call with a member of our team so that we can help you take that first step, map out everything that you need to do, and get you into action.
And if you enjoyed hearing us contrast our strategies with Dave's strategies, you're probably gonna like the other video we did with Uncle G. His strategies versus ours, and where do they line up and where do they completely fall apart.
We'll see you guys next week.